Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This video is taken from a double up game. With me here is JDP El Grillo. We've got an all diamond lobby here as far as double up mode goes. And in this game, we're going to be looking at one of the augments that's been around for a couple sets now, but one that I haven't featured here in set 8, and that is the Clear Mind augment. So this is going to spoil what the first augment is, but let's be fair, that's going to come up in about a minute anyway on the footage here. And that's going to be the main focus of this video, is playing around this augment and just getting a chance to talk a little bit about the gameplay in this match. Now, this is footage taken from the B version of the patch that we are on right now. After being on the very long holiday patch, we had a patch that kind of scrambled the meta, changed everything around, and the balance was really bad in that. So the developers released a B patch 6 days after that patch came out, with a series of little tweaks to it, but ultimately didn't really change all that much as far as what was in that patch. There were some nerfs to some of the units that had been most dominant, nerfs to the set mech, also nerf to the renegade traits. They did a minor nerf to the fiddlesticks and ergots, the 5-cost threats that have been really dominant because the developers stupidly overbuffed them. But by and large, the balance didn't really shift very much. And to be fair, it was a B patch, so you would expect the changes to be smaller. It actually was a relatively mild B patch as far as those things go. But balance didn't really change. This is still a patch that's heavily based around playing really 3 units: Set, who was nerfed but didn't really get nerfed substantially enough to stop people playing him, Set, Misfortune, and Samira. Those are the most popular units, and playing the Set mech into 4 aces kind of remains the strongest comp that you can play. By the way, I do make a mistake here. I held the Sona, but I probably should have held the Zoe instead. I was hoping that I could play Underground with the Sona. All right, there's the Clear Mind. If you have no champions on your bench at the end of a round, gain 3 experience points. As I mentioned, this has been around before. It is something that was around in some of the past sets, but it is something that I wanted to feature here in this set. By the way, I make a mistake and sell the Poppy. You can see that's just a big mistake. I'm playing the 2-star Wukong, so I should be playing Poppy with that, not the Renekton. I don't know why I made that mistake. I just totally whiffed on that for unclear reasons. I'm not sure what I was thinking there, but in any case, so I am going to end up selling the Renekton. The Renekton does not do anything for me, so I have to sell the Renekton. And so I have this weird board here where I have a 2-star Wukong, and then I have the Kale and Sona in along with the Yasuo. I was thinking, if I can find an Ezreal or what's the other early Ezreal or Vi, those are the 2 I'm specifically looking for. Ezreal or Vi would be enough to let me put in the Underground trait, which I think would be a good choice here. Anytime you find an early Sona, you want to be thinking maybe I can play Underground trait. But I have not found a Vi. I have not found an Ezreal. I was asking Grillo to keep an eye out for them, but he did not have either of those units in his shop either. So can we kill one more unit over on Grillo's board? No. That person, it looks like they took true 2s, and it's not surprising that they were able to win that round. All right, anyway, so Clear Mind, this is the augment that gives you 3 experience if you don't have any champions on your bench. As I said, this has been around since set 6, which was the first set that had augments, and it's generally been one of the stronger choices for most of its history. There have been some times where it's been stronger than other times, but as far as gold augments go, this one tends to be pretty strong in terms of the data. I believe it's in the top 20% of the gold augments in terms of its average finish right now. It's particularly good in this patch because the legendary units are very strong in this patch, especially Fiddlesticks and Urgot. Even with their nerfs, they're still performing very, very well. So fast 9 strategies, that is, get to level 9 as quickly as possible. Fast 9 strategies are still pretty strong, even after that B patch with the minor nerfs to some of the different things. By the way, this fight is sad. Look at how close this fight is. I get 3 units down to 1/3 health, but I don't actually finish off any of those. I did kill 1 unit, but it's still kind of not the best sequencing there. My team did not manage to actually kill the units in question. But anyway, like I said, so this is a setup where it is conducive to leveling quickly. All right, so just like that, I have not leveled at all, but instead of being on 4 XP, level 4, I'm all the way to level 5 because I've gotten 6 bonus XP already. Of course, one of the classic trade-offs of playing Clear Mind is, number one, it gives you no in-combat benefit. It's purely an economic augment. It's basically giving me the equivalent of 3 gold extra each round. The other trade-off is that you can't hold units on your bench. Because, for example, I wouldn't mind picking up some of these other champs to hold as for possibilities for later, but if I want to get the Clear Mind benefit, I can't do that. So that also is a little bad for double up mode because you can't hold units to send to your partner. Grillo is going to be playing a duelist board in this game. I think he already has 4 duelists in. Normally, I would try to grab Neela's for his board to help him try to make Neela 3-star, but that is not going to be a possibility in this setup because I can't hold Neela's on my bench or I lose the Clear Mind benefit, which I don't want. Also here you might be like, oh cool, sell something, you got 9 gold, sell something to get to 10 gold. Well, I already have nothing on my bench, so I have nothing to sell. So I'm just stuck at the 9 gold here, even though I wish I were on 10. All right, now I'm actually not the only one with Clear Mind in this game. The team that's on 99 HP, Last of the Eld and Ezekiel, however you pronounce that name. One of them has Clear Mind, and the other one has Cluttered Mind. Cluttered Mind is very similar, but you gain 3 XP if your bench is completely full instead of being completely empty. You might think that that's better, but it actually performs worse in the data. It's because you have to hold a lot of gold value on your bench when you play Cluttered Mind. And it really does slow down your economy by quite a bit because you have to be holding at least 9 gold worth of units on your bench. And that's only if they're all 1-cost units. So it tends not to be all that strong. All right, so as I said, my board is just kind of like random nonsense. The random nonsense, as we sometimes say. I really don't have much of anything here. I will go ahead and play the LeBlanc over the Kaisa. I just had Kaisa in there because she was a 3-cost unit. And I wouldn't mind maybe putting in the Yumi. I probably should just take out the Kale. Well, Kale is giving me duelist trait, so I don't know. I was going to say I could just take out the Kale, put in Yumi. That would give me heart trait. But I don't know. Is that actually better? So I really do not know what I'm playing into at this point in time. I wanted to play Underground, but actually neither Grillo nor my board has seen either an Ezreal or a Vi. Neither one of us just saw any of those units the entire time. So there was just not much we could do. It was like, all right, I guess we can't play Underground. And by now, Stage 2 is almost over, so it really doesn't make much sense to put Underground in now. I mean, maybe I could run it on Stage 3, but I really don't like running Underground if you can't get it in on Stage 2, just because you do want to play stronger units, and units like Kale are just not very good units to play long term. Anyway, I was up against the other Clear Mind player, and I'm going to beat them. And so that's good. We were kind of worried because the Clear Mind, Cluttered Mind pair were both win streaking on 100 HP. It was like, okay, if they're running pure econ augments and win streaking, we're in a lot of trouble, but that does not end up happening. Okay, now look at this. I've got another Sona in my store. I've got another Yasuo in my store. Also, Grillo finds 2 Sonas, so it's like, okay, well, what do we do here? Well, let's go ahead and put the other Sona on the board. I'll just accept I'm not playing Underground this game. I'll just play double Sonas, and this is one of the things you can do when you're playing Clear Mind. You can run multiple copies of the same unit on the board at the same time. That is one way you can stash these extra units. Again, some people might be familiar with this augment, but if you don't have much experience playing it, this is a way that you can stash 2 pairs on your board. You just play both of them at the same time, and that way you can get closer to the 2-star version while not losing the Clear Mind benefit. All right, for this round, Wukong actually gets off a second ult. That's pretty nice. This board has a lot more 2-stars than I do, though, so it's like, can we actually win this? No, I should mention, I went ahead and made us the Rot Portal. I should have talked about that before. I was talking about other stuff on other boards. I think I still would have lost this regardless, but with Grillo coming over, we are going to win this round. And that's nice because I'm actually on a modest winning streak of 3 rounds. Can't pick up the Yasuo, though, unfortunately. I would love to have that because I would have a Yasuo pair, but cannot hold that. Not if I want the Clear Mind benefit, and that is the goal. We're trying to econ here, trying to push levels, hopefully get to fast level 9 later on. And that, by the way, that would have been a 2-star Yasuo, so that's a little bit sad. Oh, well. I could actually level right now and then put another Yasuo on the board, but I opted not to do that. I also would love to have the Nilo for Grillo's board, but again, can't pick up these extra units, not if I want the Clear Mind benefit. Okay, so I went ahead and took that, went ahead and made the Zerat portal earlier, and that was me basically committing to some kind of comp that I planned to be some kind of spellcasting comp. I have the tier here. I have 2 Sonas. Grillo has 2 Sonas. I was thinking at this point, I was like, maybe we just try to play 3-star Sona we already have 4 of them. Like, it's a possibility. So 3-star Sona is a pretty good unit. Like, if I can put a blue buff on Sona, that's not the worst idea. The one downside is that going for 3-star units really does not synergize very well with Clear Mind at all. Clear Mind is oh, and by the way, I'm not picking up the orbs that's delivered. Because units are going to pop out of the orbs, and I don't want them to be on my bench. So yeah, I don't want to do that. It's like, okay, another Giant's Belt, another bow. Is like, well, we could just make another Zerat portal. I was kind of thinking that, and I was like, all right, let's get rid of the Yasuo. Duelist, I'm not running Duelist trait anymore, so he's not really doing anything. So it's like, all right, well, I guess I could just make another Zerat portal. And then I was like, I'll put it on the, whoops. At first I was going to make a Zerat portal on the Sejuani. By the way, I got the Sejuani at 5% odds, so I'll just go ahead and play that. I was going to put it on Sejuani, but then I was like, no, wait, Wukong's a 2-star unit, so I get a bigger benefit if the Zerat portal's on Wukong. So I put the belt on him, and then I accidentally made a Zephyr. And I was like, ooh, okay. I did not want to make a Zephyr there. I wanted to have 2 Zerat portals because, I'm hoping to play into some kind of a spellcasting comp where I can't really use bows. But that ends up not happening. I end up making the Zephyr instead. I was like, all right, well, I guess I can position around this Zephyr. I'm going to go ahead and make use of it. It wasn't what I was trying to do, but I guess I can go ahead and make use of that anyway. And so now I've got the bow left over, so I'm going to have to try to figure out something I can do with this bow. But hopefully I can find something to do with it. We will get the extra gift rounds later on because this is double up mode. All right, and then here I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just take this. I guess I'll just take this Ludens. And then I was like, oh, there's a Samira here. I was like, of course. Right after I saw the Kale, I get this Samira. I was like, I have to make use of Samira somehow. I've got to play this unit somehow. By the way, Grillo now has 2-star Sonas. We do have 5 Sonas. I was like, geez, how do I do this? How do I do this? You know what? Screw it. Let's just level to 7. We'll put in the Samira. I mean, again, I get 3 XP for free every round. So as long and I do have the bow to put on Samira. As long as I'm like not totally broke, it's kind of like I'm 30 gold higher than I actually am with the Clear Mind benefits. So it's kind of like I'm at 45 gold instead of 15. So like this is not as bad as it might look like. And playing Samira is just going to be good. Samira is a very strong unit in this patch. As I said, it's Misfortune, Samira, Set. Those are the units that are really dominating right now. So it's like, all right, I'm just going to push tempo here. I'm going to go level 7. We're going to play the Samira. I don't know what else to do. I want to continue getting the Clear Mind benefit. This is greedy from an economic perspective, but it also does make my board stronger as well. It's very weird because I'm kind of playing a board that's almost like a built different board. I have like no trait, very, very few traits in. 2 Defender, 2 Spellslinger, 1 Ace. We've got this Wukong with a Zephyr and a Zerat portal that's serving as front line. And then just this random Sejuani with no other traits in. And then I think I have a Rel that's also giving me a Defender trait. And then I've got another Sejuani. I was like, geez. Well, I'd really like to play this unit. I guess I just take out the Rel and lose Defender trait. So we have double Sejuanis. We have double Sonas. And then I have this Samira on my board too. This is such a bizarre board. But it's like if I hit these 4-cost units early on, I mean, it is only stage 3-3. It might feel like it's later than that, but it's only 3-3. And I already have double, I already have double Sejuanis and a Samira on my board. So I'm just like, all right, I'm finding strong units. I'm just going to play the strong units that I find. And I don't have traits in. I just have strong units. So as I said, it is a little bit like a built different board being played here. That Sejuani did not quite get her ult off. Does the other one? No, the other one doesn't get her ult off either. Oof. That's a little bit sad. So it looks like this is going to be a lost round. Those Sedges were so close to getting their ults off too. But wait a second. Wait a minute. We got Samira. We had the double Sonas over there. Actually got really good value on the Ludens procs in that fight as well. So, nope, actually going to just win this fight anyway. I was like, all right, okay. I don't know how I want a 6-match winning streak with my garbage board. I mean, Grillo has helped me in a couple of these fights, but I have been mostly just winning them on my own. So, as I said, I don't really know what's going on here. For whatever reason, a lot of these other boards don't feel that strong. We are in a diamond lobby for double up, but whatever, okay. So now I've got another carousel to pick. Definitely would have taken the Misfortune with the rod, but that's gone. So now I have to try to pick something else. I am last pick here, which is kind of amusing. I was like, okay, well, there's a tier here. So, okay, I'll just make blue buff. I think I have enough frontline items for the moment. Let's get some more carry items. So, again, we're hoping to play into this Sona. By the way, Grillo is just playing the 2-star Sona for the moment. And the plan is still to send this over to me at some point. But then I get another Samira, and then I get a Misfortune. I was like, Okay. Alrighty then. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna take a spatula for the gifted item. I was like, okay, how do I make use of this? I have to try to play these units. I have to make use of these items somehow. I was like, is it just a 4 aces board? Like I have the Samira, I have the Misfortune. Is it just a Samir board? I was like, all right, well, let's do this. I mean, I'm just gonna lose even more traits here. So I'm gonna drop the extra Sona. I'm going to drop the extra LeBlanc, and now I have no traits in at all. So I have no traits in, literally. I've just lost ace straight because I'm playing both Samira and Misfortune at the same time. So again, this is literally like playing a built different board. No traits whatsoever. I do not have the built different trait in. I'm playing Clear Mind. I'm not playing built different. Just feels like that. But it's like the units I have are very strong. They just don't have any traits in. So I've got double Samiras. I've got a Misfortune. I have double Sejuani's. Like, these are very strong units. So, you know, play the units, not the traits, right? I've said this before in some of my games. Like, this is a game about playing strong boards. It's not necessarily about traits. It's about playing strong boards. And I really believe the strongest board I can play is just the what I've got here right now. Of course, obviously, I'm really hoping I can hit some of these other units so I can get some 2-star versions. But anyway, so we have, by the way, we have a another spatula option here. So we have a Tactician's Crown between the two of us because we have double, spatula. So one of us is going to get this. We were trying to talk about which person should get it. And I believe that the discussion was that we thought I would be able to make better use of it because I'm trying to push to level 9. And if I can just like push to level 9 and just start playing legendary units, then that's probably going to be the stronger option. And Grillo, meanwhile, is going to stay, I believe he's going to stay at level 7 or level 8 and just try to slow roll there for 3 stars. I think he's going to stay at level 7 for some time. He's going to look for more Neelas in particular, see if he can 3-star Neela. Whereas I am just trying to push tempo here. I'm actually going to get a pretty good Zephyr. Look at that. I was able to Zephyr out the Poppy with the Warbogs and the Stone Plate. So that's a pretty good use of the Zephyr. I did check right before the round started. And then we're going to get double Sejuani ults. That buys us an awful lot of time. Now, would I win this round normally? No, I would lose this round. But it does buy time for Grillo's board to come over. Grillo playing those duelists as a very strong board, was able to find the early Zed and get a Hurricane on him. So I am leaning on Grillo pretty hard here. The basic idea is we're going to use his board to carry us through the mid game. Oh, by the way, there's another Zed. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm just gonna lock my store. I want the Zed, but I can't send it over to Grillo yet. Just gonna freaking lock the store because I want the empty bench. I want the empty bench for Clear Mind value, and this is a way I can guarantee that Zed's available for the next round. The Echo as well. I probably also want that Echo. Just a general all-around good unit. And then here, I forgot. I need to wait to open the orbs. Oh, you need to wait to open the orbs or you're not going to get Clear Mind value. So I was like, oh, well, since I already picked up these units, I wasn't able to unlock the shop in time. Oh, well, that's a little bit sad. But I do have 2 out of 3 Zeds right now. So I want to go ahead to 8, and I do want to roll a little bit on 8. By the way, look how early this is. This is a 4-1 level 8, and I have quite a bit of gold to roll with. Oh, there's a Fiddlesticks, but we got to play that. Got to play that. Grillo is going to send me a... Oh, by the way, Grillo got a... he's going to send me a Zed with a Tactician's Crown on it, and then I'm going to send him back the 2-star Zed. So yeah, I had 2 out of 3 Zeds. Let me just go through what we did there because that was kind of complicated. He sent me a Zed. So we each got spatulas from our gift round, and then he got another spatula from his minion round. So he had 1 Zed. I had 2 Zeds. He put the Tactician's Crown on top of his Zed and sent it over to me. It combined into Zed 2-star on my board because I already had 2 Zeds. And then I put the Hurricane back on it and sent it back. So the net result was he got 2-star Zed, I got the Tactician's Crown, and I still have a leftover spatula as well that I can try to do something with. And I have cleared my bench again for Clear Mind value. So I am going to lose. I'm going to lose that round finally. But yeah, I'm still getting the Clear Mind value. And now I'm just going to try to push straight to level 9. Just going to try to go very greedy to level 9. Now, unfortunately, this is a champion augment. It's a 3-cost augment, and there's really not much I want here. But there is this Vayne one. It's the Vayne support one. When you put Vayne on your board, she gives units that have the Edge of Night additional attack speed. So I was like, okay, well, I need to roll a little bit if that's the case. And then I found an Urgot. I was like, geez, how do I play this? Oh, thank God. I was able to hit 2-star Samira. So now, if I can get rid of another unit, I can potentially play the Urgot and the Fiddlesticks, and now I really like to get more of these units. I'm trying to figure out what I can play here. How do I make use of this Vayne? Again, I'm going to end up selling the Wukong so I can get that off my board. And now we're going to look to put more of these units in. I'm going to play the center for sure shot, and then again I want to continue trying to put my board together, which again is really feels like a built different board. That or a legendary suit board, something like that. But I do want to clear my bench again so I can get the clear mind value. I'm obviously not getting it for this round, but yeah, so I put in the center for sure shot. But the main thing is I just have 2-star Samira, and she does have additional attack speed because she has the Edge of Night. I guess I have to play Vayne. It's that or just not even make use of Vayne, the augment, but yeah, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I have a bow left over plus a spatula. I can make Duelist emblem, and then I can actually get value out of the Vayne because she will give Duelist trait to Samira. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. By the way, there's more Samiras, but I don't think I can play more Samiras. So I've still got this extra Zed, and I was like, should I hold Zeds or should I just sell them? And Grillo was like, can you hold the Zed? Because he does have a decent number of Zeds. He was like, I think we have a realistic chance to go for Zed 3-star. I was like, oh, okay. So I do want to hold this Zed. I also want to get this Echo on the board somehow. So let's see if I can lock. Maybe I can do that. I guess I'm just going to have to lock. But so I sold the soda there, but now I have a leftover blue buff. What do I do with this blue buff? I was like, I guess I'm going to put it on Misfortune. She doesn't use it especially well, but it does cause her to cast a little bit sooner. So I guess that's kind of the best I can do here. As I said, it's not one of her better items, but it's better than nothing. So no one else can really use the blue buff. So we'll just put that on her. And okay, I'm going to lock the store again because I want the 2-star Echo. And I think I'm now finally in a position where I can look to go to just push to level 9. I think I can clear my bench at this point. Oh, there we go. I ended up selling the Vayne just to make 2-star Echo because Vayne is not really that important on my board. All right, woo. Well, a lot going on there. Again, this is just the completely random legendary soup board. I'm just playing legendary units as I hit them. I'm playing 4-cost units as I hit them, basically ignoring traits completely and just trying to play strong units all throughout this game. Okay, so what do I need to look to do here? Oh, wait, there's an Aphelios on the carousel. Yep, there was an Aphelios. That should not have been left on the carousel, so definitely should not have given Aphelios away to someone who could potentially play it. So there's yet another legendary unit I can play. I don't really care about the item. I just want the Aphelios. So goodbye, Senna. We'll get you out of here. We're going to play the stun gun. And at this point, I was like, all right, now I go to level 9. But Grillo does have 6 Zeds. Look at that. He has a 2-star Zed on his board, another 2-star Zed on his bench. So he's actually on 6 of them. He was like, can you just hold that Zed? Because that gets us 7. We're only 2 away from the Zed 3-star. I was like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to sell this Sejuani. I can always find Sejuani 2-star later on. I don't have much frontline for my comp, but I do have the Zephyr, and I do have the Zerat portal, so that does give me a little bit of additional frontline. But mostly, it's just I've got a bunch of these just completely random, strong units on my board. By the way, where am I getting the extra Duelist on my board right now? I've got an extra one. I've got the Samira with Duelist Vayne. Who is my other Duelist that I have on my board? Oh, the Zed, because I stuffed the Zed on my board until I can send it back over to Grillo again. Okay, so yeah, like I kind of cut through this team comp like it wasn't really there. But the main reason for that is just I've outpaced this lobby to such a crazy extent. Like we're on stage 4-5, but like my board already has Aphelios and Fiddlesticks and Urgot and a 2-star Samira and a 2-star Misfortune. So my board is very random, and like I would love to pick up this Sejuani. I could have had Sedge 2-star if I waited one more round, but nope. Sedge will come back. We can always find Sedge at level 9. The goal now is just get to that level 9. And look, oh, Grillo is on 7 Zeds. Oh, he's on 8 Zeds. We've got it. All I have to do is send him the Zed. But I can't do it yet. We have to wait until the next round because I don't have a send for him. By the way, I'm also going to go ahead and lock this shop. And the reason for that is, well, 2 things. Number 1 is I can replace the Zed with another Sejuani, but I want to wait until after the minion round. So I'm just going to lock this shop for 2 rounds in a row, which feels really bizarre, but I'm going to lock this shop for 2 rounds in a row. The other reason is Draven. Draven's on the bench, and I need to get Draven on my board if I'm going to play a 4 aces board. Draven's actually a little bit difficult to find because we're getting to the point in the game where it's hard to find the 1 and 2 cost units. So I'm just going to lock here to like hold the Draven in my store. in lieu of putting Draven on my board, because there's no spot for him on my board. So I'm just going to keep this in place here. I actually have to lock again for another round. But I think there is some logic to it. I know this has been just a really, really bizarre game, but we're about to make 3-star Zed because Grillo has 8 of them. Remember, we did the double send earlier where we combined for 2-star Zed, and then he was able to find like 4 or 5 more, or I guess 5 more, and then I found this one. So we're like, okay, cool, 3-star Zed. We just need the extra send so I can send it over there, and we'll be getting that as soon as we are finished with this minion round. Once again, don't pick up the orbs. I forgot to do that last time. This time I remember, don't pick up the orbs because they might give me champions. One of them will give me a component anvil, which I believe counts as a unit for clear mind purpose. But okay, now we can send the Zed over. So here you go. Grillo, enjoy your 3-star Zed. Like I said, I felt bad earlier in the game. I wasn't really able to help him make like a Neela, but oh well, I was able to help him make Zed 3-star. That's pretty good. All right, so here I'm looking at the different options like, oh, cool, Tear of the Goddess. Okay, well, you know what that can be? That can be a Shojin for MF. Cool. Let's just go ahead and do that. And then I can go ahead and make a Titans. And then now I can put that replacement Sejuani on the board. That gets me 2 out of 3 Sejuanis. And now my bench is clear again. So at this point, I was like, okay, I think I can go level 9 after the carousel. So I need 3 rounds to get there. But I was like, oh, there's still that Draven on the... Man, do I just lock to make sure I have Draven? I think I can find Mordekaiser at level 9 so I can play 4 aces. Do I just lock this so I know I have the Draven? I was like, it feels really bad. I've been locking my shop for quite some time. By the way, I finally do lose a round there to that person, but unfortunately their partner lost, so that's it. They're out of the lobby. They were only on 1 HP and they lost. I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to keep locking for this Draven. Again, feels super weird. I'm basically just doing this to gain the 3 extra XP every single round. And by the way, here we're going to get another one of the sends. I did the 3 components, and so I'm going to take the bow, use it to make Last Whisper, which is good. I didn't have an Armor Shred on my team. Aphelios will be able to apply that with his... I believe his ability applies that. I'm not sure, but I think it does. And I'm also able to make a Sunfire Cape because I lacked a heal cut. That was the other thing I was really missing. So again, 2 more rounds. We get to level 9. We find Mordekaiser. We shove in that Draven. And then we've got 4 aces. I need to point out, as strong as my board has been, I've been winning a lot of rounds. I have not had even 1 ace in. The fact that both Samira and Misfortune are on my board means I don't have the ace trait. But they're both kind of overpowered in this patch. So it doesn't really matter that much that I'm missing it. I mean, it would be better to have the ace trade in, but both units are just so strong, I could just play them anyway. Also, one other thing, this person's playing through the set mech, but apparently they were not scouting very well because I was able to Zephyr out the set mech. This is something you have to watch anytime you're playing solo frontline. You have to be very careful if the other team has a Zephyr. You do not want your solo frontline unit to get Zephyred out of the fight, which is exactly what happened there. By the way, Zed has a locket, which is a little odd for 3-star Zed to have a locket, but I guess he does give increased locket value. 3-star unit does give higher locket value. Okay, so here for Grillo, I had the option for component anvil or for 5 more gold, a spatula in addition to that. So of course we're going to take the spatula plus component anvil, and I am still locking for that Draven. Pretty silly, but still locking for that. Okay. Now, the sad thing is, well, maybe not so sad, but this lobby, we've already lost 2 of the 3 teams. And the other team is at 9 HP, while we're at 84 HP. So the game is not looking to last that much longer. I just want the game to last long enough for me to be able to get 4 aces in. This person over here is playing through a Misfortune. I think there's 7 Anima Squad Misfortune, but they only have MF 1-star right now, so that does weaken their board a fair bit. So I was like, all right, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to Zephyr out your Misfortune that you've been playing in the back corner. So up you go. Unfortunately, though, I probably should have targeted the Riven instead, because the Riven is honestly more of a threat in this board. If I was able to Zephyr out the Riven, we would just kill the entire team, like before she even came down from the Zephyr. Still, I get a great Urgot ultimate. But that Misfortune is going to hit pretty hard with 7 Anima Squad. Unfortunately, it is taking a little too long to cut through this Riven as they get stuck on the interface. So I do end up losing that round. It's very close, but I do end up losing that. And we actually take a double loss there, so we can't screw around too much. But now I finally should be able to get to level 9 here. Then I can stop locking my store, and I can actually look to play more of these units. All right, is there anything I want in this carousel? Well, yes, there is. There's a Death Cap, and that would be really good on Misfortune, so I will definitely take that. Is there anything for Grillo on this carousel? Not really. He's playing a duelist board. There's basically nothing he can use there that's going to be any useful at all. Okay, so Draven on the board. We held that Draven forever. All right, now we just need to find Mordekaiser. So let's see what we can find here. And there's a Nunu. I guess that's better than anything else. Oh, cool. Vayne 2-star. That's nice. There's another Aphelios. Excellent. So that's good. And more Samiras. Also, there's another Urgot, so that's not bad. And what else? I could potentially pick up the Zac, maybe? All right, so Grillo. Oh, and what Grillo ended up doing was he took the Brawler emblem. Well, I guess he was given the Brawler emblem. It was completely random. It just if you don't pick something off the carousel, you get one of them randomly. So he sent me an Urgot with a Brawler emblem on it because he said he really had no use for it. And I actually did have a use for it in my comp because I'm playing Sejuani, so that gives her the Brawler trait. And I just stuffed it on Fiddlesticks to give a little bit more health. I don't know if that was the right person to put it on, but I don't think it was the worst choice. Anyway, though, so I still need to find Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser lets me play 4 aces. I have 3 ace in because I have the Draven on my board. And I'm also on 2 out of 3 Aphelioses. That was close, but we managed to win the round. So my board is going to spike enormously if I can just find one Mordekaiser. That's really the only thing I need. So it's like, all right, come on. Mordekaiser? Just need one. And okay, I find Sedge 2-star. I guess I'll just play another Aphelios for now. Okay. Probably should have picked up an Alistar as well to get Oxforce in for Aphelios. That would have been nice. I didn't know I went past an Aphelios in my, or an Alistar in my store. All right, so this is definitely much better. Now our front line is a little bit better. We have this like ridiculously overcrowded backline. I have units on like every single tile of the backline. I am level 9 with a Tactician's Crown, so I'm playing 10 units at the moment. So I actually have Urgot mispositioned here. That other person shifted their whole team at the last second. I should have done a better job of scouting. Big problem, though, is Urgot shifts over a little bit, so he's actually going to get off a great tidal wave anyway. And Sejuani was able to lock up the whole team with her ultimate as well. Sadly for this person, they only have 1-star MF. They really need the 2-star Misfortune to make their team work, and they just don't have it. So we're going to be able to punch through them, even though positioning was bad for me. And we're going to come over, and now that team's down to 1 HP. So if we can win one more round, the game will be over at this point, because they definitely cannot absorb another loss. So again, I just need one Mordekaiser. I know exactly what I'd do. I'd take out the extra Aphelios, put in the Mordekaiser. We get 4 aces in, boom. That means Misfortune, Samira execute units that are at 30% or less health. Again, 4 aces is a gigantic buff, particularly to the Misfortune, who actually casts pretty quickly in the fight. I'll just toss this Tactician's Crown on Draven so he looks prettier. But with Misfortune having the blue and the Shojin, she actually casts very quickly in the fights. Her damage is a little bit lower, but the Death Cap does help a good bit with that. All right, so what do we got here? We've got another Anvil, and I can't really use too much of this. I was like, I think I need defense more than offense. My front line's still a little sketchy. All right, let's see what we can find. All right, I already have Zed 3-star. We're finding Zax. More Vaynes? No. Okay. There's a Leona. Maybe. Could play that over the Aphelios, but no. It's like Mordekaiser? No, not Syndra. Mordekaiser? No, not Syndra. Come on. Janna. No. Oh, my God. Looks like it's not going to be a 4 aces game after all. So that's a bit unfortunate. Looks like we're not going to find it unless we lose this round, but I don't think that's going to happen. My board is pretty stacked at this point. It's a little unfortunate I didn't find more Fiddlesticks and the Mordekaiser, but it is what it is. I did hit 2-star Urgot. Can't really complain. My board is kind of tearing through this person pretty easily. There is the big Urgot tidal wave. We actually get 2 more chests. So I could, they actually get a component there, but it's not going to matter. Game's over. GG. Misfortune does the most damage, and Samira does the second most. We each won a round. I won my round. Grillo won his round. And that's going to wrap this one up. So a really weird game. As I said, this was like the Traitless Clear Mind game. I felt very bizarre playing this, but basically this was a game where it really shows the benefits of playing tempo, which is pushing the envelope, getting to a higher level, getting out in front of the rest of the lobby. I just felt like I was in front of the rest of the other teams from start to finish, playing more expensive units, playing more units. And even if I didn't have traits in, ultimately it didn't matter. Also, Grillo helped out a lot. 3-star Zed's pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. Till next time, take care, folks.